last week I ended up facing Anti-Crystal in our draft league battle, and he had this huge counter to the rest of my team in Darmanitan. So most of my team is in around trying to mitigate what the Darmanitan was going to do. He also had a hard-hitting Necrozma if he decided to run that. So we ended up running with this team here, Wheezing Galar. It was able to live one Flare Blitz from the Darmanitan. We had the Conch here that was able to live one from the Darmanitan and Mach Punch him if he got somewhat low. We had Gothitelle to run Trick Room because my Vikavolt ran through his team. Kyurem set up so that enough speed investment so that a +1 would outspeed anything on his team besides a Scarf Darmanitan, and Kyurem would still be able to live one Flare Blitz from a Scarf Darmanitan instead of a Banded Darmanitan. We had the Vikavolt here with Specs. If we could set up the Trick Room and get the Vikavolt in, the Sticky Webs, we'd be able to kind of just run through his team with Vicky. And then we had the Steelix here to set up rocks for that Darmanitan as well. We had to be careful because his Necrozma learned Defog, and so does his Delibird, but I didn't expect him to bring that. I wanted to run the Custop Berry on this bad boy, so one Earthquake would kill the Darmanitan, which was probably his lead, or we could just go for free Gyro Ball or Body Press or something, because the Body Press was able to 2 or 3-ko his Corviknight that he had, and then we could set up the rocks once we hit Sturdy, but Custop Berry isn't released yet, unlucky for us. But yeah, so let's get into the game now. Alright, so our lead was going to be Steelix, and we see he actually did bring this this Delibird. But I end up going for rocks here because I know he was going to U-turn to break the Sturdy. He goes into Necrozma, which I can live. I'm not too worried about my Steelix here since the only thing I need it for is the Delibird, and it's not that important. So I just go for some damage on his Necrozma, who I thought was scarfed at this point. So I switch into Gothitelle because Gothitelle's able to eat anything from the Necrozma, but I see that he's running a defensive set, actually. I think I noticed it actually when I did damage. So he ends up going to Corviknight. I knew he was going to swap, so I try to set up, I try to get some damage off. I see that the Corviknight is also super defensive. And he actually ends up running Defog on his Corviknight as well. So I set up the Trick Room to try and get my Vikavolt in here, but I forget, yeah, I figured he was going to try and U-turn out because he got scared of the thing. I didn't expect him to go for a Brave Bird there. But I can't do anything to the Scoodra, and I know he's running Fire Blast. Unlucky for him, he misses. But I just wanted to get some Toxic Spikes up, get the Poison onto the Necrozma, not onto the Darmanitan, take less turns, take more damage for him. He ends up going into Darmanitan because that's the only thing that can deal with this Gothitelle. So I just end up swapping here. Oh no, I expect him to go for U-turn, so I actually stay in and set up another Trick Room, I believe. Yep. I set up another Trick Room, and then I can't go out into Vicky here because a Heat Wave will still do massive amounts of damage. And then I see he has Moonlight, and that's unlucky for me. So I end up just sacking off this Gothitelle to... Oh no, I don't. I go into my Wheezing so I can do more damage to this Necrozma and hopefully force him out. But that doesn't happen. I forgot. I think I just played that super poorly. I don't think I had much for this Necrozma, but I end up getting in my Kyurem, setting up a Dragon Dance. I think he just goes for a Psychic here, and then I'm able to KO this Necrozma. And he goes into Corviknight thinking he's going to live one, but I'm running Icicle Spear, which does manage to one-shot. Oh, he lives on 5, but he just goes for the roost here. I think he's trying to defog the spikes away possibly, so he can get his Delibird in. So I just go for another Icicle Spear. It's unlucky it took 2 for me to KO him because I took more life orb damage, and because of that, the Scarf Darmanitan max attack is able to KO from 85%. So that was just a dead Kyurem. I go into Conk here just to make sure that this Darmanitan's forced out because it causes huge issues for my team. And then this Vaporeon and I just have a stall war with my Assault Vest Conkeldurr. He can't do much to me. He's just trying to Wish Protect, stall out my PP. So I end up I ran Thunder Punch just for this Vaporeon, and I was making sure I was keeping it within range. Unlucky for him, he got the Wish off, and this Delibird OHKOs my Conkeldurr, and then the Wish goes off, and he gets back to full health. And then my Vikavolt is just not able to outspeed at this point, and neither is my Gothitelle, so I am in a rough spot because he can just go for Brave Bird here and KO my Mons. So I should have been able to save the Steelix for the Delibird. I didn't. For one, I didn't know he got Hustle in Gen 8. Found that out. It was unlucky for me. He didn't end up missing one. He had a 1 in 5 chance to miss one. If I remember correctly, it may be less, but so maybe like 1 in 6, 1 in 7 chance to miss one. So he could have missed one on hopefully my Vikavolt, but he didn't. He probably shouldn't have. That would have been unlucky for him. And I don't think I could have dealt with this Goodra anyways, unless he happened to miss his Fire Blast onto my Vikavolt. As GG's, I could have saved this Steelix and the Weezing, and stalled them out for a little bit longer, so I could deal. Weezing would have been able to deal with the rest of his team fairly well. But it was GG's to Anti-Crystal, and we'll see how the battle goes against Urban this Friday. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified when we go through it. I'll try and actually go through a team building video as well for my prep against Urban. GG's, and good luck with everybody's games as well.